Hey guys, here's Louis back on the 1968 convertible Ladybird. So far so good. This car is really coming and turning back around. I have done a whole bunch of repairs to the car. I have about 20 something hours invested in the repairs on the car. I also did the lower door jamb section right here. Okay, was never welded to the car. I welded it. The owner did tell me when he dropped off the car that there was a broken bolt at this mounting point where the fender gets mounted to the firewall upper couch section. I was successful with it. I was able to drill it out. Okay, chase the threads to a 3/16, and now he can have his bolt back to mount the fender. Okay. Also, I seam sealed the upper part of the floor. Okay, everything here is looking great. I will be scuffing everything and shooting everything with a satin black. Also the inside of the dash, satin black, and even possibly the top of the dash. Still waiting to cut out the transmission hump here for the 4-speed shifter or for a manual shift car, which is different from your automatic cars. So far so good, moving right along with the build. I also did some cleanup on the trunk area. I repaired the drop off on the trunk, and I did some seam sealing also at the trunk, which I'm not done yet. Okay, still need to seam seal inside the wheel wells. Now for the next dilemma here is fixing the gaps on the deck lid. Okay, so I took measurements of the deck of the tail panel, I should say, from here to over there. I got 52 inches and 1/8, and from here to here on the deck lid itself, I got 54 inches. I split it down the middle, okay, which is right about here. I set my gaps the best way possible, and this is what I got. So this side is not that bad at all, like the driver's side. And the way I like it is nice and straight, going curve, right? Well, check this. It's huge right here, okay? It's bigger here than even here. Going over here, I could fit a 3/16 brake line, and it falls right in. And look at how much this thing actually danced in there. Okay, so for me to get the 3/16 body gap, I need to weld 3/16, fill it in, right? So I was thinking about this. I said, if I split here and try to move this forward, okay, so this will move forward, right? But it will leave me still a big gap here, and I don't want to mess with nothing in here. There's a lot of things underneath this panel right here that I don't want to deal with. And if I cut, you could even cut some of the metal that's under here, which is, of course, things that are structurally okay. This being a convertible, it also has a brakes here for the cocktail shakers. I don't want to mess with none of that stuff. So I deleted cutting the quarter panel. This morning I went to Tractor Supply and I picked up some steel rod, cold roll steel rod. Okay, wasn't expensive at all, about $6 or a little bit over with taxes and all that. And this is what I got. And look at it right here. Let me see if I could get that. Round rod, 3/16, 3 feet, weldable. See, cold roll steel. And to give it that curve right there, I simply went to my garage pillar here, which is a metal pipe, and I put it around and I just bended it with my hand. And let me show you guys so far where I'm at. So if I put it here, okay, it gave me that nice radius, that nice round radius right there. And I'm going to start welding it and just pushing it down, welding it, pushing it and flexing it to the quarter panel coming straight down. All right, I think, to me, like I said, there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat. You just got to choose one that works for you. And that's what works for me, because like I said, in my eyes, if I split this and I move this edge in, it still leaves this curve here out. It's just way too big of a gap. So I'm not messing with none of that. And at the end, it's just gonna make this thing look terrible. Okay, more warpage, more this, that, and the other. So my experience with metal and my approach and what I feel more comfortable of, just add this rod into it and I get my 3/16 of a gap. So let me clean up this metal here a little and I'll bring you guys back. All right, guys, so far what I have done is welded the rod right here. Okay, trying to keep my heat down. I also grinded off the paint using my belt sander right here. Okay, great. I think I paid $100 at Harbor Freight for this. Works awesome. You don't have to go hard with the belt sander, just enough to take off the paint. That's a 40 grit sanding belt I have there, and as you can see, I'm starting to fit this radius really nice. Let's keep on going here. Right. It's getting there. Let me bring you guys a little closer for you to understand what I'm doing. So I gave it a spot weld there, one more spot weld there, another spot here, and a spot there, and one more spot. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now check this out. You don't want the rod to be taller than the quarter panel. You want it to be exactly the same, okay? And if you're a little lower, you could always add weld and grind it evenly. But I'm about to the level of the quarter panel. I don't know if this thing can focus, but I'm right there. I'm going to keep on tack welding here. Keep going down. Push on the rod down. You see? Push it down. Keep spot welding, spot welding, spot welding until I get down to here. I'll bring you guys back once once I have a couple of more spot welds. All right, guys, so I started here. Okay, some of the rod is in here, very little, and I started bending. Whenever you need to bend your rod, as you put your plug weld, the rod gets hot because of the weld. So you can flex the rod easier that way, manipulate the rod. Okay, so that's what I did. I welded it, started shaping it to the quarter panel. Now I'm all the way down here. Now I went down to here. So I'm going to keep on plug welding it, or spot welding I should say, and cut this for it could match to the edge of the quarter panel here. Okay, so let me get this tape out of the way. Now when I close the deck lid down here, it's a little tighter than up here, but believe me, what a difference. Look at how it's so close right here. Okay, I mean, big difference. Okay, I'm really happy how it's starting to look. Now let me get my 3/16 brake line. So here I know she's a little bit more tighter, which is okay because I could always grind the rod. Nice. See? She is not, she's fitting really nice. And now there's not double of the gap. Okay? Over here, you see this gap was so big that I still got a crazy gap here. All right? It's kind of still big, but when I finish cutting this rod off, the rest of that rod, I could always add it over here, and that's what I'm gonna do to close this gap. All right, guys, so the rod is positioned exactly where I want it for now. Okay, now I'm continuing doing the spot welds, and I'll be bouncing around, okay, keeping the heat down from the quarter panel. And it is also a great idea just to use some air. Then you will go back to your piece and feel it. Okay, that feels good. I don't feel nothing hot here. So now you could continue and give it a couple of more plug welds. Spot welds, that is. Go back, get your air hose. And check it with your hands. Feels nice, really nice. I know you guys are not here, but the metal on this side is what you're concerned, and it feels excellent, okay? Feels really nice here. And guys, my method to putting the gun, okay, on the welder, I use this hand so I could lay the gun on my right hand. I am lefty, so I use my left hand to hold the gun. And this is what I do. And I just point to the section I'm going to be welding and squeeze. Get your air again. Okay. And this being flux core, which I use and I happen to love, it's a lot of splatter, okay? And you see like the brown of the gas. So it just takes us a wire wheel to clean off. Okay, get your air. There you go. And there you have it. I'm just gonna keep spot welding, spot welding, spot welding, spot welding until she's completely solid weld to the quarter panel. That's the rod. Okay. Down here, I cut the rod and I bend it over. I will be welding that towards the end. Okay. Let me finish spot welding all this complete and I'll bring you guys right back. All right, guys. So I welded it straight through, okay, coming all the way to here. Now I have some grinding to do here, and just like the welding, trying to keep the heat down, you want to try the same thing when you're grinding. So what I like to do is I probably do one pass, okay, about maybe that much, I would say about 6 inches or so. Then I put the grinder down, get my air hose right there, okay, and blow some air on it. Then continue, blow, grinding air to keep the heat down. Now, I don't know if you can see that on camera good, but trust me, the quarter panel on this side is nice. All right, really nice. She feels awesome, okay. And you could tell there's good penetration right here, but I kept the heat down enough that I didn't warp this. All right, now I'm happy with the gaps here. The gap here is excellent from, I would say, from this point going all the way down. She's nice. Here, tight, but like I said, I could always grind to the filler rod that I put. And then I'll get the 3/16 inch gap. The only thing is that I am noticing from this point to about this point, okay? So let me get the marker. I am seeing that about here, from here to about here is too wide still. I mean, she's really wide. So my rod that was left over from the same rod that I bought, street feet they give you, I'm going to bend it into shape, and I'm going to weld it right here now to fill in this gap right here. Okay, so that will be next. Then I'll probably grind this down and bring you guys back. Well guys, for this video I'm pretty much done. Okay, I grind down the welds, not all the way nice and smooth yet, but it's there. Wherever I missed, I would just add more weld and grind so she's nice and solid and consistent. Check out the gap here. So I did add the filler rod. Okay, that rod that I used to make the gap better. And check that out. I'm actually really happy with that. I added the piece from here to here. Then to blend it in with this, I just added weld. Grind, I welded more, grind until she's smooth and the transition followed. Okay, and as if we could take a step back and look at it, it's really nice. Okay, I love it. It's kind of hard to do this with one hand, but I'm gonna show you. I'm holding the camera here. I'm getting the, because I have to put pressure on the deck lid. She doesn't have a lock yet, but check this out. I'm pretty happy how the gap is. All right, 3/16 line, brake line that is that I have here. All right, really nice. Like I said, check this out. Boom, really beautiful. Okay, I sealed the trunk for now. The trunk area is nice and sealed. Wherever it needed to be sealed, where there was plug welds, any welds, I cleaned up the rust and I sealed it. Okay, there you go. All right, so I'm really happy how this came out. Like I said, nice and consistent line here. Okay, now I'm gonna leave this to you guys. So if I do this all the way to the end, it's gonna be a super long video. And I noticed that when you do long videos, the audience don't hang in there all the way to the end. So there's going to be a couple of videos till I am finished with this. Now, when you add a rod, okay, you're going to have like an edge and a void here to fill, because it's not straight flat like here. You see, the transition is nice and smooth here. So I want to hear in the comments your guys' opinion. Should I fill it in with filler? They also make like an epoxy bond type of JB Weld kind of thing that is very durable and strong. Should I buy that and just fill it in? Or should I cap it? When I mean cap it, should I fabricate with sheet metal and make it look just like this and just weld it in? I could do that too. But I want to hear in the comments what you guys think is the best way. And you see, with a little work and your welder, you could do the same thing. Well, guys, I have a big mess here in the garage. That's what happens when you start working on these cars. Your garage could be nice and clean, and when you come to see, you have a huge mess everywhere. So I'm putting the camera down for this one. All right, and I'm gonna start cleaning up here my shop. so I could call it a night. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you guys learned things on this. And well, like I always say, keep your hands dirty and your project will move forward. Take care now. Bye-bye.